Hello everybody, Heather here. So last night I was thinking, does rheumatoid arthritis change your personality? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. We have the initial shock of the diagnosis. So of course, for our personality wise, it doesn't matter how strong you are, there is a bit of a wobble because you're anxious about how it's going to turn out. You're anxious about what kind of treatment you're going to get. And you don't know, you hear all the horror stories. And, and even on the sites for rheumatoid arthritis, you tend to hear the bad news stories because if you're in remission and you're quite happy and you have no problems, you're not going to be on those sites because you're living your life. So it's always something to bear in mind, although I'm not knocking it because they're a great deal of support. I'm on quite a few of them and I have found them very useful in the past. So we've got the initial shock of the diagnosis. Then what should happen is we should get on a successful treatment and we should go into remission. So you should be able to go ahead and just carry on as normal, with a few blips along the way, because as I've said before, we always have side effects from some of the drugs. So we're living our normal life, but we can have the occasional flare. So that makes you more anxious and it can affect your mood, your personality. And it's when we live with rheumatoid arthritis, and I think when we struggle with the daily routines, that can make life difficult, even just getting out of bed. Going to cook a meal and you're so exhausted that you need to sit down halfway while you're preparing it. Perhaps it is, that you go to open a jar and you can't open the jar. All of those things are very frustrating. It might have been that you used to really like physical exercise, and sometimes your body won't just allow you to do that because it gives you added pain. They do recommend gentle exercise, and I would say some of the ones that have been better, I think, are things like swimming and, well, they say cycling, but gentle cycling. Don't go and push yourself into all these crazy 100-mile cycles. But also things like gentle Pilates and yoga and Tai Chi, I've heard, is very good. So one of the things is, as well, with when you've got rheumatoid arthritis, it's that feeling that you don't want to become a burden to other people. And it can change relationships because I've met lots of people that rely on their other half to support them and get them through this. Now that's very difficult, particularly I'm on my own, so I haven't got another half that can help me. So if I am having a really bad day, I rely on my friends or I take to my bed. So that changes your personality. Now you might have been a really sociable person in the past, but sometimes, depending on the drugs that you're on, because for instance, certain drugs, they don't want you to have alcohol because it affects the drugs, and it affects you with taking, alcohol. So that could mean that you can't go and socialise in the pub with your friends, or if you can, but you're the one that's sitting there with your orange juice or your Coke. And, there's nothing like being, the nominated driver at every event. You'll soon tire of that. Then there's the added strain that, so if there's nights out and things organised and you're having a really bad day with your rheumatoid, you might be cancelling at short notice. And I've always said, I always find it odd, and I don't know, you might think differently, but I've found growing up that for women, you have to put in a huge amount of effort to maintain that friendships because you can't just come along and pick up where you were. Whereas I've seen with my male friends, they might not see one another for months, haven't talked to one another, and they'll just text and say, do you fancy going to the pub? And they'll go, and there's nothing about, where have you been for the last 6 months or all the rest of it? Or if it is, it's joking. So I think, it's difficult to maintain relationships. You don't want to feel that you're a burden on other people. So I do think, that rheumatoid arthritis can affect your personality if you let it. It's difficult to maintain your strength when you're having so many bad days. And I do say that the weather is a factor. Those that have been watching my videos, the last few days it's been really cold in Aberdeen. But thankfully today the sun is shining, so I actually feel a wee bit better, although my knees are telling me differently because I'm having extreme pain from them. But, so all of these things does put a stress on relationships. People don't know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day for you. And you don't know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day. But don't beat yourself up. You can't help it. It's part and parcel of the disease. You can try and explain to, those people around you, what rheumatoid arthritis is. Those that care about you will have seen you at your worst and seen you on the really bad days. They know what you're going through, so they should be more supportive. But I know that I shocked a lot of people with my trailer video. And as a friend said to me yesterday, you didn't hold back from showing the bad bits. And he said that he didn't realise it was as bad as that. I've had a few people that have said that to me that I know. Well, of course you hide the bad bits. You don't want everybody to see you looking at your worst. But when I started thinking about doing these videos, I said that I wouldn't lie. I'm telling us how it is for me. And it has to be for me because everybody's story is different. Well, on that note, I'm going to go. I've got a busy few days coming up, so I don't know when I'll post again, but hopefully you're enjoying these videos. Please like, please subscribe to the channel and share my videos if you think what I'm saying makes sense. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.